everything's entertainment. There's so much of it being put out there, and there's a lot of truth stuff, a lot of bullshit stuff, but it's all entertainment at the end of the day. This right here is entertainment, and also a 6-hour long lecture about molecular biology is also entertainment, because what counts is how we are using this information. What we are using it for primarily is not to world build, because we see the world as already finished, a finished project. The actual impulse to consume information, to consume long form videos, short form videos, to consume books, is to entertain ourselves, because we no longer have the necessity to figure out how to do things, how to make things work. It's as if most of us, and this is hypothetical, experience the world as finished. As a finished project, the world is built, therefore everything else is surplus information, and it only serves to entertain us and to help us get through every day. Let's say you're developing a new disease, or you're developing a new cure for some other disease. It is possible that you're looking into very specific things, you're studying. You need actual, factual, scientific information to develop this new virus, or to develop this new vaccine. Whatever it is you're doing, whatever game you're playing, you are consuming the information to build a concrete thing. But for the majority of people who have the same amount of access to pretty much the same information, it is not taken as a tool to world build or as a tool to develop anything. It is simply consumed as a way to reinforce one's self, one's own view. It helps you get by day to day. It helps you get by traffic. You might be a curious person, but you're consuming this information for entertainment purposes. You are entertaining ideas of quantum physics while you're chopping tomatoes at your job, let's say, and you're not consuming it to world build. You're consuming it because it helps you cope with the fact that you're not special and you won't achieve anything great in life. Well, that is if we're talking within the game of the rat race. As a matter of fact, it's only clarifying even further the fact that you are a small little particle within what is the human collective. It is fascinating, and it is also diminishing. It's humbling in a way. It's also infuriating to have all of this information, all of the cats out of all of the boxes at once, Pandora's box open 24/7, and yet you still can't do anything about the world. The world and its conditions were established through historical events and human nature. It doesn't matter if you have this entire thesis on how to build a really cool pseudo-primitive society with minimalism as far as technology goes, because you can't build it. You are entertaining these ideas, and it only serves that singular purpose. So in a sense, to apply all of these ideas, it's almost like a pressure valve, right? All these people consuming the same amount of information, depending on the level of censorship within the country, you will access different types of information, but for the most part, at least here in America, you can get access to anything. Things that completely contradict the American way, things that completely expose the evils of the elites and your society, and you can dig into any rabbit hole and find things, and you can construct a worldview, but you cannot construct a world, which is problematic. It's almost like having all of this information is what's actually making us suffer. The internet is a carrot being dangled in front of us, and we as the workhorses are eternally trying to reach this carrot, which is the prospects of a human world that makes sense, that is actually good, but it is not good, which makes me think, are humans even able or capable of being good? I mean, we are the products of evil, and the entirety of human history could be considered evil. It's all human wrongdoings that created the world we live in. We are the product of that, so perhaps it is not even possible. It's all just fantasizing about better worlds where things are fair and there is justice. So if it can only remain in the realm of fantasy, we can only entertain these thoughts of a future which is a little bit better than what we got, or something even idealistic, something utopic. Why do we have desires of a good world if we are, in a way, incapable of creating it? Or is it just the fact that the weight of history is so strong that we can never escape its gravity? We can never, what do you call it when a rocket leaves the atmosphere? You need to reach some sort of force. There's a threshold you need to reach in order to escape the immense power of Earth's gravity. So if we take that analogy and it's Earth's gravity represents history and all of its precedents, and the people who have resources are maintaining that gravity. The status quo is the gravity, and you cannot reach that terminal velocity. That's probably not the term. You cannot reach that threshold of speed to exit Earth's gravity and start a new history, conserving the knowledge you have acquired of the human wrongdoings that created this world. And just to clarify, by wrongdoings I mean the instances historically where one decision could have been taken rather than a different one, but the weaker choice was taken, the one coming out of selfishness, coming out of self-preservation, endangering the future and compromising the present in a way. So that's what I mean by wrongdoings. The short-sightedness, acting out of fear rather than sticking to values. Which is also hard to prove, because how do you prove that sticking to values is good in itself, right? We wouldn't have certain advancements or progress, if you want to call it that, if we had always stuck to Christian values, right? And yet, the offshoot from Christianity into Protestantism and then the start of the revolution, I mean, the industrial age, in itself created the world we live in. So in a way, in the same way we are tied to our human nature, our animal origins, we are also tied to our human civilizational history, and it seems that we can't escape either one. The human nature creating history creating the precedent for our present state, in which we only entertain ourselves and we dream of all of these beautiful futures, but we cannot escape the fact that we are stuck here. We are stuck in history. If everything is being experienced as entertainment, since we've given up on trying to fix the world, since most of us who want to fix it, who have a desire to build something good, something more free, something more honest, honorable, we can't do it because we can't even agree on the same terms. And even if we could agree on the same terms, it's still one team against the other. It's like a fractal. Two people team up, and then you're up against a team of 3. You both fight a little bit, then you got a team of 5, because at the end of the day both tribes combine. You find a team of 10, and your team knows that it will be destroyed if it fights it, so you get assimilated by a team of 10, but you compromise. So now the ideas you had as a team of 2, before you combine it to a team of 5 and changed a little bit, or maybe it even evolved further, is completely sacrificed to the fact that a stronger team had different ideas and you got assimilated by it, and all of that world building potential is directed elsewhere. All of that human libido is rechanneled into the world. So maybe this is the phenomena we're experiencing. The fact, we go back to the Earth analogy, the gravity. You cannot escape, you cannot create an offshoot civilization because the gravity pulls you back in. All of that energy, all of that world building necessity humans have is redirected inwards. And you redirected inwards as an individual through entertainment. You cannot build the house you want to build. You have to pick between these pre-established parameters, because it is assumed that the house you are building with your own resources is not your house. You are building it for the collective, therefore for the market, therefore it has to be something that can be assimilated into the world itself. Therefore, you being an individual within the world, within human civilization, is a fiction in itself. You're less than an individual. You're a fictional character. You're a fictional, dreamlike character living in the real world inside of a bubble. The air you breathe within that bubble is your fiction that keeps you alive, while the world repositions you and digests you whenever needed. That is humanity. Through the unmasking of culture, which we are all doing through the internet, through sharing information, through delving down deep into this rabbit hole of nihilism, we are realizing that culture is dissolving and what is underneath is only a human skeleton, completely inanimate. Humanity does not hear you, it cannot see you, you simply do not exist. And as far as humanity goes, you do not exist as an individual. The individual lies within you and for you only, and it is perceived amongst people. But when a person dies, he is also assimilated into the memories of those who remain. It's as if you never existed, because there's always a waiting receptacle for your dead post-life future, which is living within other people and their memories and the things you leave behind. There's already a receptacle for your post-human existence. This is very different from the way we would like to be treated, the way we would like to exist, but the reality is you don't fully exist in this world. Fiction and entertainment and all of these notions, all of this mind working serves as a way to keep you alive long enough so that the world can have a use for you. To what purpose? I don't know. I'm not sure what we're building. It always seems like we're talking about progress as if it were some written down manual that we're trying to follow as a humanity. But I don't think anyone can explain what progress is or what the direction of humanity is. The way I see it, we're all just way too scared of the fact that we've unleashed unmitigated truth. Maybe it's a human defense mechanism to turn everything into entertainment because it is just way too much to process. All of these contradictory views of the world, when in reality none of it is truth, hypothetically, for the sake of argument. This is all just information swarming around like noisy bees, while you still have to wake up and take a piss and make yourself some breakfast before you go to work. What if through our consumption of information, turning it all into entertainment, we are building ourselves an immune system to be able to negate any instance of manipulation from the exterior? So in a way we're cocooning ourselves, guarding ourselves from the exterior, which is always potentially trying to harm us, trying to push us in a direction which does not meet our goals. So we are solipsistically wrapping ourselves up as seeds in the form of these seeds that are impervious to outside influence because the outside influence has shown its face, or maybe that's the way we experience it. We cannot trust anything from the outside, therefore we build an immunity towards it, and civilization slowly starts degrading until it fractures to an extent where no one wants to do anything except the essential things, which are relating to the people who are actually physically there, and community arises as a natural reaction in order to survive once you know that you can no longer rely on the exterior world because civilization itself has eroded to that extent. So maybe that is a future. I like to think of that sometimes, where things fracture so much due to mental illness that we actually return to sanity through the erosion of the sickened world. It breaks down, and then it's like waking up from a dream, where the seed that was cocooned and protected from a corroding exterior world of information bombarding you, trying to manipulate you, trying to assimilate you. So we guarded ourselves, those who built up this immunity towards the outside, and when the time is optimal to grow out, the seed blooms and a new humanity sprouts after the collapse. Just an idea. Thank you for listening.